Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're gonna go over all of my spending from 2021. Okay, it's no secret here that I track every single penny that I spend to the best of my ability in my spreadsheets, which I can link down below. You can get access to these for free if you're interested. And I wanted to go over everything that I spent money on. Broken down by category, of course, the best that I can. Well, actually not broken down by category because it will be, but I'm gonna share with you just where all of my money went that I have in my spreadsheet, and it'll, make more sense. I think it's interesting to look at these numbers. I told you guys in my spending plan for 2022, this is how I make that spending plan. If you're interested in my spending plan for 2022, I'll link it down below, and it makes more sense when you see my spreadsheet and how I actually do this. But based off of these numbers, I can see the areas that I spent too much money and try to cut back on that in the following year. Or I could see like where I'm doing well in and can make a budget going forward. Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into it. I will explain everything as I go. The first thing I'm gonna mention are my sinking funds, but this doesn't really, just know that my sinking funds are being used throughout the year. So I did put $9,342 to my sinking funds, and this is divided between like 8 or 9. But as I go through this list, you'll see that I took up a lot of that money because I spent in those categories. So I did put $9,342, but I used that money too. I contributed $2,350 to my Roth IRA. I think that's the most I've ever done in a year, which that's not too bad. I probably could max it out for 2021, but I'm not going to, just because I'd rather prioritize my debt right now. And that's fine for now. I donated $678.04. You guys know I usually budget about $50 per month. One day I would like to have this be a lot higher. Every month I always donate to an animal rescue. That is like the most important thing to me are animals. So I always choose, it's usually a rescue called Barkville. So if you're interested in donating to a good animal rescue group, check out Barkville and please donate to them. Okay, this is the highest one, right? Yeah, my rent, trash, and pest fee came to $16,853. My rent did go up in May by like 20 something bucks because I negotiated it. They were trying to increase it by over $80, and I told them I don't want it to go up at all. But they only raised it by about $20. For some reason, I always think it's going to be higher than that. I know that it is a lot, $16,853, considering it's an apartment. I know I'm like throwing my money away, but I don't see it that way. I absolutely love where I live, and I love it here. I love my apartment so much, so I'm fine with that. Renter's insurance, I paid $167.63. This is through State Farm, and I actually got a quote recently from Geico, and it would be like $100 less than that because I have car insurance with them. So I may be switching that and save a pretty decent amount in 2022. But yeah, $167.63, which breaks down to about $13.83 per month. For Wi-Fi, I have Google Fiber. That was $660 for the year because it's $55 a month. Electricity, I paid $735.26. My apartment is probably like 750-ish square feet, and I really try to avoid, like all winter long, I don't turn the heat on. I don't know how much of a difference it would make, to be honest, but I do try to save energy if I can. Water and sewage, I paid $427.68. Groceries, $4,172.24. This is like 6% of my take-home pay, which I don't think is that bad. That averages out to be, I think it's like $370 something per month or so, almost $400 per month. But yeah, I don't think that's too bad. Also, about halfway through the year, I started purchasing like all organic produce, especially like the Dirty Dozen list. So I know that really increased my grocery bill. Food out, I spent $622.01. This includes just what I paid for. So I honestly don't go out to eat very often, but typically when I do go out to eat, it's with my boyfriend and he pays. So that's why this is a really low number, but also I truly don't go out to eat that often. So I myself only spent $622.01, but just know that it would be a little bit higher if I actually paid for my food. Gas for my car was only $527.48. That's not bad at all. What was it in 2020? Curious to see. I know I filmed this video last year. 254 in 2020 because I barely was driving. I didn't have to go to work, but now I've been going just about daily. So you guys know I had my car at the beginning of the year. I still have my car, but I had to make payments on it, and I paid it off. So that was $4,397.08, all paid off. To my student loans, I didn't have to do this, but I paid $239.14 just so I could get it to an even number, to get it to $36,000. I did that back in February. Student loan savings, so this is what I have saved for my student loans. I saved $11,973.85. It's a lot of money. Life insurance, this was that stupid life insurance policy that I should have canceled 4 years ago, and even like I had wanted to cancel it 4 years ago, and the year after that, and the year after that, and earlier this year, but I didn't just because the guy who gave it to me like had me sign up for that, who's like a family. It was just all a big mistake, but he kept convincing me to keep it and like showing me that it was such a good plan, but it's not. Do not get like a universal life insurance policy, please. It's a waste of money. I put $810 to that in 2021 and finally canceled it, I think by October. So yeah, I had contributed $90 every month up until September, which is where that 810 came from. But over the time that I've had it, this is one of my worst financial mistakes because I wasted like 6,000 something. That's how much I had contributed to it, and I get zero of that back. But I've accepted it, I've moved on, it's whatever. I'll make it back by investing. Health and beauty, this one I'm upset about. Obviously some of this is beauty, but the bulk of this was for my health. A lot of this, okay, let me just say the number. I spent $8,089.27. That is so much money, and I have really good insurance, but I was trying to do more like of a holistic approach, a natural approach. So I got like acupuncture, I went to a holistic doctor. Just as a side note, I know that this is a finance channel, it doesn't really matter, but I wanted to point this out because I think it's important, because sometimes I get hate for going to like holistic doctors or, you know, trying to go down that route. Granted, I'm on like really strong medication now, but anyways, I never would have gotten diagnosed with Crohn's disease in 2021 had I not gone to the holistic doctor. So my surgeon was convinced that I did not have Crohn's because I had mentioned this to him. And I absolutely love him, but he was like, I don't think you have Crohn's. We don't need to do a colonoscopy. But my holistic doctor kept running tests, like stool tests and blood tests, and kept telling me, you need to get a colonoscopy because I think you have Crohn's. And I did. So if it were not for her and me going to that doctor, I would have completely just ignored all the side effects that I was having and continued with my life. And I would probably still be miserable to this day. So just because somebody is like a holistic doctor, it doesn't mean that they don't do things in traditional medicine as well. Yeah, I just wanted to share that since I sometimes get hate, not on this channel about it, but I've had people tell me like, you know, each time I mention I go to a holistic doctor, I usually get an eye roll or something. Okay, for my dogs, I spent $3,048.07. This was because of my pit. She did end up passing in October. Unfortunately, I'm still quite upset about it. But she had a surgery in June. That was a couple $1,000. And then, yeah, she just had a lot of vet bills. And then I give $100 to my sister just every month for that. So that was a lot higher than I anticipated. And I think in 2022 it should be lower, but over $3,000 is quite a bit. Don't get pets if you are not willing to pay for them. Phone was $267 for the year. Car insurance, $1,079.43. After I paid off my car, I switched to my own car insurance, so that was very exciting for me. I have it with Geico. For my business, I spent $1,777.82. So this is really just things to keep up with, like having my hosting, my domain, any giveaways I did, any services I paid for. Yeah, it's kind of just reinvesting back into my business. For Spotify, I paid $207.99 because I paid a couple of months, month to month, and then I purchased a gift card and I purchased another gift card for the following year. So this is like 2 years worth of Spotify. Personal spending, I feel like I spent way too much. I know in 2020, I only spent like 100 something in personal because I did a no spend year. In 2021, I spent $2,584.04. I would have to go back and look at everything, but the bulk of this was on like athletic wear, leggings, you know, cute little crop tops and stuff for the gym, because that's like my favorite thing to purchase when it comes to clothes. I did buy some clothes too, but those typically weren't too expensive. But yeah, the bulk of it was on clothes. In One Invest, I invested $280 into that. My CPA does my taxes. That was $275 for the year. Parking, $54.60. This is usually, there's a place in Atlanta called Pont City, and me and my boyfriend go there very often, and that is what took most of my parking. Gifts, I spent $1,340.75 on gifts, and this includes birthdays and Christmas, but this is one of those that I have a sinking fund for, so I probably had like, I don't know, at least $1,000 that I used from my sinking fund for that. I paid for the Talent Stacker Salesforce program that I mentioned a while ago. I can link it down below, but this is to like learn Salesforce, get a career in Salesforce. This was a lot. I used my stimulus check for it basically. $1,897. We're still waiting for that to pay off, but we'll see. Electronics, $57.33. All that I bought, I think, was just a new charger for my MacBook because my other one like literally snapped in half. Shipping, this is kind of random, but it's on here, $14.40 for shipping. Going along with the Salesforce stuff, I failed my exam a couple of times, so I had to pay for the certification 3 times. And then I got like some courses, I got coaching and stuff to pass that. That was $791.36, which I am still seeing as an investment because we'll get there. I did renew my passport this year. That was $134.14. By the way, if you need to do that, it took probably, I think it took 3 months for it to get back to me. So if you do need to go out of the country, just know that, and your passport's expired, just know that it may take up to like 3 months or more to get it back. For travel, me and my boyfriend only went on one trip we went to Utah, Grand Canyon, and Las Vegas. That was $487.43 for my part. Honestly, my boyfriend did pay a large chunk of that because it was a pretty expensive trip. My license, registration, and tag for my car, $44.44. So that's like the emission test and just paying for the tag. Defensive driver's course, $12.50. That saved me quite a bit on my car insurance, so that was well worth it. I got a car wash for $10. I need to get car washes more often. Car maintenance, all I spent was $82.74. I got my tires rotated and an oil change just once, and that's all I did for the year. Thank goodness, I love my car. Netflix, I spent $41.97 on. I started paying for Netflix in October. I had Netflix before for years for free through, it was like my boyfriend's mom was paying for it, so I was just using hers. Coinbase, I invested $30 into crypto. This one, I don't know. I had this on here because of like this one time I purchased a broom for $7.55. So I put this under like home, even though I buy stuff for my home not all the time, but you know, like dish soap and toilet paper and detergent and stuff. I put that all under groceries, but for some reason I decided to put the broom under home. So that was $7.55, but you know, technically it's more. LingoPie, which is to learn Spanish. It's like a app to learn Spanish. That was $65 for an annual subscription. And if we add everything up, including my sinking funds, I spent $76,635.24. So let me take out my sinking funds and let's see what that does. So I spent, if I don't include my sinking funds, this doesn't include what I've like had to save for my taxes, I spent $67,293.24. The bulk of it being on my living situation and then saving for my student loans. So that's good. That's not bad at all. You know, as I talked about in my spending plan, I definitely want to cut back on My health expenses, I know I may not be able to control that, but I'm trying to the best of my ability, and now that I'm on like a treatment plan, I should be okay. The main category I have control in is my personal spending, so I set a limit for that, and I really hope to shave that down in 2022. But overall, I don't think 2021 was too bad when it comes to my spending. It is what it is, and I live here, so I have a lot more to pay for when it comes to that, but I also am really good, I feel, at balancing everything when it comes to paying for debt and investing and just kind of doing things that work best for me. I don't know, I thought I would film my spending in case anybody was interested in where my money went, broken down by what I actually spent it on. Maybe that was helpful or interesting for you to watch, but feel free to comment down below any questions you may have, or you can share what your spending looks like for 2021. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.